Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Freelance Friday. The plan for today is to do some conversation about some DB. Words are hard. Dead by Daylight Killer Concepts of mine. As chosen by chat yesterday, which again I apologize for having to end it so soon. Marvel Rivals was driving me insane. Speaking of which, if we get done with all of the concepts that I do have fully fleshed out today, I will likely do some Marvel Rivals, provided that the fix I was kind of told about actually does work. Oh god, my voice, go away. Fun stuff like that. Uh, but yeah, let me make sure I have the right image that I want to show off with my starting one now. Also, let me know if you guys want the music back on or not. I'll try and get it to be so it's not overpowering my voice or anything like that. Let's see, what do I want to do first? Let's go ahead and go with this one. Okay. Uh, I think the killer we're gonna start off with that who is a original killer of mine is the mannequin. Mac is also probably the killer character. Oh, God dang. The killer character that I have the most for. I have like lore, perks, power. I even have all 20 add-ons. Yeah, it's already sounding a little quiet to me. Why are you? I'm gonna have to reselect you every time, aren't I? Let me know if you can hear the music, guys. I appreciate it. But yeah, so let's start off with the lore of the mannequin. So the lore of the mannequin is originally she was a woman by the name of Tabitha. She used to work at a department store. I would say it was probably like a 50s, late 50s originally when she worked there. And she was basically the mannequin wrangler. She would kind of get them settled up, keep them looking good, dress them up, that kind of stuff. But as time went on, as with generally most department stores now, it eventually did have to close. Now, Tabitha, um, due to being one of the more responsible employees at the time when it was still open, actually ended up having her own copy of the key so she could go in early, get them set up for the day, especially if it was like a big sale or something like that. Now, what she did when the store closed is she actually kept her key. Um, and she would actually go in every now and then and kind of check on the mannequins, make sure they're good, they're not damaged or anything, because that was basically her life. And by this point, she's an older woman, older lady, basically just in retirement, but she still can't stand not to go and look at the mannequins. Something about it just sets her off if she doesn't do it. Sorry, guys. I'm also trying to get other things to work appropriately. Anyways, I need to deal with that later. But there was one night where she went in and she ended up finding that the door had already been busted open. So she went in to try and figure out what was going on and found that there were some hooligans messing with the mannequins. Now, specifically, they were messing with the upper part of the store mannequins. For anyone who's been into like an old Sears department store or something like that, or even Dillard's or something like that, where they have that escalator that takes you up to the second level, kind of that setup. But she went up, found them messing with them, tried to stop them. She ended up getting pushed and got pushed against the already kind of not doing too well glass panel that was acting as a barricade from people falling off once they were off the escalator. It broke and she fell and died. However, her spirit didn't move on. It took possessions of one of the mannequins, specifically kind of an older model that was still there. At which point she attacked the hooligans. Now, what happened after that is the fog rolled in and brought her into the entity's realm. At which point you'll now come up to her power. Which, let me size that up a little bit more for you guys. So, the mannequin's power is possession. The mannequin switch between the 6 total mannequin bodies on the map. Also, pardon my poor grammar and spelling and all that kind of shit. I'm not a smart guy. I might be a slightly clever guy, but I'm not smart. Click and hold the killer power button to select another mannequin to possess using the secondary ability button to switch between the 5 other mannequins. Once selected, release the power button to unpossess the current body and possess the new one. The mannequin suffers an 8-second recovery time before they can move again. While doing so, the mannequin being possessed will jerk about. Once recovered, possession begins to recharge. Survivors can interact with unpossessed mannequin bodies, causing them to be dismantled. Dismantling an unpossessed mannequin body makes a loud noise notification. The dismantled mannequin body will burn away shortly after and is reassembled in a different location. Yeah. Basic sense, you can just kind of use your power to switch between various mannequins. With some rather fun aspects to it. Get my other one set up. Fairly, simple power to use. One of the hilarious things is I actually find mannequins super fucking creepy. So I kind of Batman this, I guess you could say. Mannequins terrify me. It's time my victims share my dread. Ah, do the wrong thing. But let's look at the add-ons for the possession. Oh god. All right. So first common add-on we have is Clearance Rack Spray. Decrease possession recovery time by 2 seconds. Simple, easy, fun stuff like that. Next, we have Display Light. The mannequin red stain remains with the previous mannequin body for 7 seconds. Which I can only imagine would be rather horrifying for some people. I know that's pretty effective for Wraith with his common add-on that makes it so that his stuff is suppressed for 6 seconds after he comes out of cloak. Very useful. I personally use it. Next up, we have $5 coupon. Increase possession recharge speed by 5%. Next up, we have loose base screws. When the mannequin possesses another body, the unpossessed body is dismantled. Gain 100% more blood points in the hunting category. Basically, kind of one of those add-ons that require you to kind of be more strategic with your power usage. Not to mention the fact that you can kind of have your own say of when your stuff's dismantled and all that kind of stuff. Hi, Spicy. Mwah! Good to have you here. I was just going over some of the common add-ons for my killer concept, the mannequin. Because I may have been, slightly still am obsessed with. Oh, you just woke up? Well, good morning, beautiful. Okay. But yeah, I may or may not be obsessed with Dead by Daylight killers and the concepts of making my own. Spicy. Okay. What's all right? Uncommon add-ons for the mannequin's power possession, which, uh, just to catch you up, Spicy. The mannequin's power possession allows her to switch her between 5 other mannequins that are spawned in the trial map at the beginning. All right. Anchored base. Dismantled mannequin bodies are reassembled in the same spot they are dismantled. This basically would allow you to kind of keep your mannequin in a spot you want them to be. Will make one where starts off as a survivor and slowly turns into a killer. Spicy. I actually have one of those. You can blame Soul for this one. I actually have a killer in process. Hi, Tris. Morning. Or evening, I guess. Or afternoon. I don't know. Wherever you are. Whatever time zone, whatever time point you're at. Welcome in. It is. I really do like it. Like I said, it is a work in progress, but I will talk about it. Because it is a fun character concept. And I absolutely love the 2 iridescent add-ons I made for it. I think they're so fun. No, I haven't. Don't think I have done their. I'll have to look at my thing after I get done with this character. Which, speaking of, that's the first uncommon add-on. Next one is Clearance Rack Summer. Decrease possession recovery time by 4 seconds. So just another one to kind of make it so you can get moving faster with the mannequin after possessing a new body. One of the first character, like actual lore character related items. Granted, they've all been, but this is actually related to the person that the mannequin was before. Tabitha's Flats. The mannequin gains 5 seconds of haste after performing a possession. So basically, like a thing of like, if you were to combine this and the last add-on, not only would you recover faster from using the power, but you would also be able to make your way over towards the next victim sooner. Also, sorry if you guys can't hear the music. It's being really funky. Okay, Driss, take your time. Next up. $10 gift card. Increase possession recharge speed by 10%. Sorry, I had to crack my neck real fast. Also, I need to do a thing real fast because I do not need it to be on at the moment. There we go. Okay, back to this. Bros. Alright, and for our last uncommon add-on for the mannequin, we have Vandalized Mannequin Head. Survivor scratch marks fade 5 seconds slower within 4 meters of a unpossessed mannequin body. Pretty simple, I would say. Basically, if they're trying to run around a mannequin that you're not currently using, you'll be able to see their scratch marks a little easier. Just kind of a nice little thing there. Like, I will admit, it's probably one of the weaker add-ons I've made for this killer's power. But, you know, probably has uses in other cases. Alright, next up we have the rare add-ons. Our first one is Clearance Rack Fall. If you guys can tell, I very heavily base a lot of the stuff off of the department store that the mannequin came from, which would also, just to get sidetracked for a second, because I'm not prone to do that, the department store would actually be a map in my mind as far as this being a chapter. And the way I see it, honestly, actually, Spicy, you might actually have a kind of an idea of, if you're still here at least, didn't fall back asleep. But a local mall that I live at, or live around, I don't live at, fuck. I might be a little tired still myself, son of a bitch. But one of the old department stores it has is essentially has the upper and lower area, like I mentioned previously. The way that the mall itself is set up is it's set up on kind of like a weird, almost like part of it is on the bottom of a hill, the other half of it is at the top of the hill. So it's kind of like, yeah, abandoned department store. I just know that the thing that keeps popping in my mind is an old, I'm pretty sure it's still going, is like an old Macy's or Dillard's store. I'll have to DM you the exact mall I'm talking about. But yeah, it's kind of like one of those two department stores that's connected to the ends of it, where it has a lower parking area that you can go into the lower area of it, and then an upper parking lot area that's up the hill, kind of thing. Um, where is my spicy? Do I not have a? I do have a DM with you. Okay. Okay. You'll now, if you haven't already know, see why it's kind of hilarious between me and Momo. The same time zone. Yep. All right. Next rare add-on is 50 cent off poster. Welcome back, Tris. Glad to have you back. Injuring a survivor grants 50% possession charge. Yep. It was hilarious when I mentioned it to Momo. I DM'd her and told her some interesting aspects of how I realized the hilarity of this. All right, next one. Large display. Start the trial with two more words. I know, it's hilarious, isn't it, Spicy? That's why when you were talking about it in her stream last night, I knew where you were talking about when you mentioned where that theater was. Anyways, large display. Start off the trial with two more unpossessed mannequin bodies. Thank you, Tris, for redeeming drink time. Sound didn't go off, but there it is. Thank you for redeeming first as well. Figured there might as well be add on that grant you a few more mannequins to use. Thank you for the big stretch, Tris. Ugh. Yeah, the only theater I visibly remember are two around our general area, but I know that neither of them are near there. Alright, next up, Tabitha's Purse. Increase basic attack reach by 5% and lunge attacks by 10%. 10%. You know, because sometimes people might use their purse as a weapon. You know, yeah. All right, and then the last add-on for our rare stuff. I also like small theaters. I'll have to talk to you about one that is in the northernmost area that I really enjoy. Alright, Vandal's Cap. Instead of receiving a noise notification when a unpossessed mannequin body is dismantled, that survivor's aura is revealed for 10 seconds. Basically, oh, you dismantled my body. I know it was you specifically. Come here, you little shit. Alright, and that is it for our rare add-ons. Time for the very rares. Ha ha ha. Alright, first very rare add-on is buy one, get one free sign. Basically, you gain an additional possession charge. so you can do it twice, whereas before you could only do once before you had to let it recharge. Spicy, same. I like I said this earlier, but I basically Batmaned this fucking killer because I find mannequins super fucking creepy as all hell. I can't actually decide which version of a mannequin is creepier. The ones that actually look like people with like the face paint and all that kind of stuff, or the blank ones where it's just like blank, like there is nothing there. I don't know which is creepier, but it was just a thing of like, you know what? I said this joke already. I'm gonna say it again. Uh oh god, I know. I hate when I just see them in a window. Also, guys, ad break in 4 minutes, just so you're aware. I hate when they're just in a window, or if I'm going around and I just see a fucker thing like that. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of true, Tris. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, basically the joke I have for this killer is mannequins terrify me. It's time my victims share my fear. It's such a dumb joke. I love it. All right. uh, all right. Very rare add-on. Clearance rack winter. Increase possession recovery time by 6 seconds. While selecting a possession target, the aura of survivors within 6 meters are revealed. So if you fuckers are trying to be sneaky deaky and be around a possession or an unpossessed mannequin, guess what, motherfuckers? I see you. Oh, just wait until you hear what I have for the Mori, Spicy. And specifically the weapon. And then there's the fucking perks. Because I'm just on the add-ons for the power right now. Alright. Next up, we have rotating display. Unpossessed mannequin bodies will act as if being possessed when performing a possession for 8 seconds. I was thinking about that, but I didn't really want to do that too much. Especially because that feels like its own kind of thing. And that's basically what they are in Lethal Company with the coil head, since those are basically just mannequins with the coiled head. But yeah, it is an interesting concept, but with the killer's power in general, just doesn't quite fit with the whole aspect of it. Especially considering the fact that just wait until I get to the iridescence. There's one that kind of fits that idea, I would say. Rotating display, yeah. This one, this one specifically here is just lovely for when it's basically kind of like Sadako and Spirits, two add-ons that make it so that you hear them coming out of their thing all the time. Oh, trust me, if I were to do my own perks for this game, it would be entirely different and not specific to this killer. All right, next one and last one for our very rare add-ons. Stolen Mannequin Head. Lose the ability to select a possession target. Survivors that witness a possession are exposed for 20 seconds. So basically, you can't select which mannequin you're going to possess. But if there are survivors who are, within sight of it, if they see that you're possessing it, those fuckers are exposed. Mix that with like the haste effect add-on, and boom. Yeah. All right, time for the iridescent add-ons. Let's go with this one first. All right, ultra rare add-on. Mirrored display. After selecting a possession target, select another unpossessed mannequin body. The second selection moves towards the closest generator and damages it. Generators damaged in this way regress an additional 25% and 25. I fucked how that is read. My apologies. Additional 25% faster. The mannequin becomes dismantled afterward and is not affected by anchored base. So basically, it's like, you know what? Fuck your generator over there in particular. And then last one. Tabitha's Key. Reduce unpossessed mannequin bodies to 1. Survivors that witness a possession can be killed for 30 seconds. Which, conveniently, that's actually the perfect way to go into what the mannequin uses as her weapon and her Mori. Before we go into the perks. So the mannequin's weapon is actually the left arm that she can detach. And she basically uses the anchoring piece to connect it to the rest of the arm as a stabbing implement. And her Mori is essentially, she holds out the weapon towards the survivor. She actually possesses that survivor, and while they're trying to fight off the possession, they actually take hold of the mannequin arm, point it towards themselves, and just start hitting themselves, stabbing themselves with it until they die, at which point the mannequin then grabs it and then moves on. Also, a thing to note is that the arm that is missing the arm essentially, when it's actually picking up a survivor, it has like a ghostly apparition of an arm to kind of take its place. Also, the mirror display was maybe not exactly. Oh god, Tris, why? Funnily enough, Tris, I actually have a killer concept in my list that I'm going to be going through that is based off me. Like straight up based off me. All right. Here we are. Okay. But yeah, the mirror display add-on was it's maybe not be exactly what you were talking about, Spicy, but similar, close to that point. It is now time for the perks. All right, the mannequin's perks. First one we have is Safety Hazard. This perk activates when the last generator is repaired. When a survivor begins working on one of the exit... Fuck, I need to redo these with better grammar. On one of the exit gates, the other one is blocked. Additionally, the aura of survivors are revealed within 4, 6, 8 meters of an exit gate. Next up, we have Hex Flicker. This perk activates when the first generator is repaired. When this perk activates, a random dull totem becomes a hex totem. While the connected totem is lit, generators do not gain progression on skill checks. Instead, cause 45% regression. When a generator is fully repaired, the corresponding hex totem is revealed for 864 seconds. Chaos, thank you for redeeming Stitch Voice. Let me get a timer set up. Timer. Come back to me. All right. You don't have to apologize, Chaos. You really don't. I put it there for a reason. All right, your 5 minutes of Stitch Voice starts now. Anyway, so last perk for the mannequin is Where Did It Go? After injuring a survivor, gain undetectable for 30, 60, 90 seconds, or until the survivor is fully healed, downed, or another survivor is injured. That's probably the one that I like the most and would probably use the most, honestly. Alright, so that is the mannequin, my friends. Again, this is the, like, one of my killers that I have the most stuff on. From, like, add-ons, power, lore, even a map. It's also the one, honestly, I could see behavior actually turning into a killer, which would be so fucking awesome. Alright. Well, you know what? Since Spicy brought it up, I will talk a little bit about my survivor turned killer concept called the Fractured. Which I only really have the power kind of set up right now. I still need to really write down the perks for her, but they are pretty fun. Okay, so the Fractured power, Fractured State. When the trial begins, Fractured State's power meter begins to fill. Once full, a token is created. Up to 4 tokens can be created. When Fractured State has 1 or more token, press the killer power button to enter a fractured mode, consuming all tokens, 30 seconds per token is consumed. While in this mode, the Fractured loses the ability to see generator auras, scratch marks, or damage destroy pallets and gains the undetectable status effect, 4% haste effect, and the ability to vault pallets. Alright, so that's her power. Basically, it's kind of like a revert to when she was a survivor. Of which I still need to work on the rest of her add-ons, but the 2 add-ons, or at least what they're called that I'm set on, is Broken Part and Empty Syringe. So you can kind of tell that they go based off of the some of the add-ons for survivor items, such as brand new part or what the fuck is the syringe called? The one syringe add-on for medkits. But yeah, basically they're based off of those, but for a killer power. I know that one of the perks I have for her, not that I've written it down yet, or at least jotted it down in the kind of generator thing I have for this, is I call it Stale Air. And what it does is it makes it so that while you're chasing a survivor, if they're within, I think it was 3 meters of a pallet, and they try and drop it on you, the entity will actually block the pallet from being dropped. The perk then goes on cooldown. Also, I want to give you a close-up image of the killer power image, just because I really like it so much. Yeah, there it is. Fractured state. It's lovely. Beautiful. Alright, let's see. That was that. Like I said, I don't have much on her quite yet, or at least written down. I'll probably do another one of these at some point with going over all of my now the at that point finished works. All right. What do you think, guys? Do you think I should do another original killer or a licensed killer concept? What do you think? I have a few of the licensed killers kind of concepts, and that is time for Stitch Voice. Chaos, once again, thank you for redeeming Stitch Voice. I appreciate it. Another original? Alright. You know what? Let's do this one. This one is known as the Fawn, of which the Fawn is actually based off of our goat goddess herself, Soul. Alright, so the Fawn's killer power, Mystical Bow. Now, for context, the primary weapon for the Fawn is a club that's made up of a part of a bow, and the mystical part of the bow is that it fully forms into a full-on bow when you're using the power. All right, mystical bow has 5 arrows. Press and hold the killer power button to ready an arrow. Release the power button to fire at a survivor. If hit, they are injured and put into the deep wound if hit twice. The arrows recharge over time, 6 seconds or 7 seconds. And the kind of add-ons I would imagine for this power is like an add-on that makes it so if you miss, it reveals them through Killer Instinct, or stuff, or probably even a high level iridescent add-on that would put them into the dying state kind of thing. That kind of fun. All right, time for the perks because I really don't actually have a whole lot of add-ons. All right, let's go with this one first. Satyr's Tomb. When the killer searches a locker, this perk activates for 16, 18, 20 seconds. While active, survivors that attempt to hide in a locker make a loud noise notification, and this perk goes on cooldown for 45 seconds. Basically, if they try and slowly get into a locker, it's just going to make a loud notification regardless. So basically, if they were to think of like, oh, I'm going to hide in this locker, I'm not going to rush it, otherwise I would make a loud noise notification. Guess what, motherfucker? I still hear you. Alright. Next up. Wicked Dance. Wicked Dance gains a token anytime the killer is stunned. Up to 4, 6, 8 tokens. When a paladin is thrown while in chase, but does not stun their killer, they gain 10 seconds of haste. So basically, if you're playing killer and you have this perk, if you respect the palette, I guess basically, and don't, or back up just at the last minute kind of thing, so that it just slams down without hitting you, you'll gain a token and get faster. I really wish this thing would not be this way. I kind of want you guys to hear the music. I got this specifically DMCA free music for a reason. Anyways, alright. Back to what I was doing. Okay. And for our last perk for our lovely friend-inspired killer, Coward's Heart. This perk activates when a hooked survivor is unhooked. While active, survivors that are more than 36, 34, 32 meters away from the survivor that is unhooked. I need to redo the grammar on all these fucking things. That is unhooked, their aura is revealed and become exposed for 18 seconds. So this one was very heavily inspired by the way that Soul plays when she's playing killer, where she doesn't like when people just kind of like don't try and help their survivor buddies. When they're like super selfish and that kind of thing. So just kind of sounded like the perfect thing for a killer based off Soul. All right, and this one doesn't have any add-ons, unfortunately, but it is still a lot of fun. All right, let's do this one. All right. So this killer is basically based off the traditional like gray alien kind of thing, of which I dubbed it the Gray, and I think it's actually a nifty little aspect to it. But yeah, and I know there's probably some people who were like, but they already have an alien killer. Yeah, but that's the xenomorph, not like the classic alien, gray alien. All right, Mind Blade utility, which, for context, the Gray's weapon is essentially a blade that they control with their mind. And it's Mind Blade. I know, it's clever. Press the killer power button to shoot out the Gray's Mind Blade towards the survivor. On a hit, the survivor becomes impaled and cannot move. The Gray can then hold the killer power button to begin pulling the survivor back, going around objects that would impede the blade path. Lost my place. Once the survivor is close enough, the Gray can pick up the survivor. While the survivor is impaled on the Mind Blade, they can attempt to dislodge it, causing the Gray's mental strain meter to fill. Once filled, the survivor is free. On a miss hit or after a survivor successfully sludges it, the blade returns to the Gray. Mind Blade can also be used to block a pallet from stunning the Gray, but will instantly fill its mental strain meter. Mind Blade utility cannot be used while the mental strain meter is full. So it is very similar to Deathslinger. The only difference is you don't have to reload it yourself. It has more of a chart of a cooldown kind of thing. And yeah, it's actually kind of fun. Alright, now for the perks. We have Scourge Hook Isolate. At the beginning of the trial, 4 hooks become Scourge Hooks. When a survivor is hooked on a Scourge Hook, their aura is hidden from the other survivors. Survivors that are more than 8, 6, 4 meters away when a survivor is hooked do not see the hooking notification. So basically just a thing of like, kind of like reversed barbecue and chili, honestly. For the most part. Alright, and next up we have Abduction. While carrying a survivor, the killer gains the undetectable status, which persists for 5, 7, 9 seconds after hooking the survivor. Oh god, I'm okay. I'm back. I'm not frozen anymore. I've thawed, men. I've thawed, ladies and gentlemen. My non-binary pals. All right. But yeah, fun little one. be would not be good to utilize with it would definitely not be a good the abduction would not be a good use combination with Starstruck. Just because that requires them to be in a terror race, and if you're undetectable, that terror race goes bye bye. Hey, Toku, I have been tackled. I have been. Toku, you asked for this. I've been tackled by a cutie. All right. And last perk for the gray. Also, Toku, just to catch you up, I've been talking about some killer concepts of mine. I actually just got done talking about Soul's killer concept. But all right. Yeah, we're currently going through the gray, which is basically just the classic like gray alien. All right, lesser species. This perk starts with 2 tokens at the beginning of the trial. Can gain up to 4 tokens while chasing survivors. When a generator is completed, this perk loses a token and all survivors become exposed for 6, 11, 16 seconds. When the last generator is completed, while this perk has at least 1 token, survivors' auras are revealed for 5 seconds. Alright, let's see. So that is lesser species. Oh, I'm sorry you're feeling a little under the weather, Toku. I hope you feel better. Alright. Well, Toku, since you're here, I'm going to let you decide. Should I talk about another original killer of mine? Oh, alright, never mind. Scratch that. Shall we do another original killer? Oh, thank you for shouting out Toku Spicy. I appreciate it. Also, Toku, enjoy your lurk. Uh, Me killer? All right. Come here, psychopath. Wordy ass bitch. All right, so we're gonna start with the perks for this one, actually. All right, so my killer, the killer based off me, I call the psychopath. Their weapons are they have 2 weapons that they can switch between: a small hand axe and a gut hook knife. Here are the perks. We have eerily calm. At the beginning of the trial, the killer gains the undetectable status for 60, 90, 120 seconds, or until a survivor is downed. Now, one thing to note: all of these perks are based off of the way that I am while I'm playing killer with friends. Generally, uh, or I guess more specifically when they've challenged me, which a certain friend of mine has made the mistake of challenging me to get serious, which I did, and I killed everyone. All right, next up we have Hex Happy Cackle. For reference of what the cackle is, there you go. All right. Hex Happy Cackle. At the beginning of the trial, a dull totem becomes a hex totem. While the corresponding hex is lit, both dull and lit totems emit a false terror radius up to 6, 12, 24 meters. Survivors will also suffer from the blindness condition while in the false radius. And then our last perk for my killer, Scourge Hook Mischievous. At the beginning of the trial, 4 random hooks become Scourge Hooks. When a survivor is hooked on a Scourge Hook, the killer gains undetectable provided they stay 32, 28, 24 meters or more away. I completely said that in the wrong order, but that works. But yeah, lots of like, you don't fucking hear me or see my red stain. Just no, you don't get to see this. You don't get to know where I am. I will find you. All right. And now for my power. All right. And of course, because this was done in an earlier version of the site I used to make these, it kind of got fuckered. Dreadful Laugh. I already talked about how I can switch between my 2 weapons. You use the secondary ability button to do so. I can throw both of them. Also, there's an ad break in about 40 minutes, just so everyone's aware. Oh, excuse me. To throw a weapon, hold the killer power button to charge up a throw, and tap the attack button to release. The psychopath will automatically switch to his other weapon after a throw. On a successful hit, the survivor becomes impaled. Survivors are broken while impaled until they or another survivor removes the weapon. This will also cause Dreadful Laugh to gain a passive charge of 4% for the gut-hooked knife and 2% for the hand axe. Removing a weapon causes a loud noise notification and the weapon will become highlighted in yellow. Hit or miss, the psychopath's ability to throw a weapon is disabled until the thrown weapon is retrieved. Once Dreadful Laugh is fully charged, tap the secondary ability button to activate it. While activated, the heartbeat is changed to a sinister laugh. Survivors within the psychopath's terror radius become both oblivious and hindered. Of which, just some important info for you guys. The hand axe does have a higher charge rate for Dreadful Laugh when used for basic attacks, while the gut hook has a smaller charge rate. The purpose behind this is because it's kind of a thing of like I personally would feel more dread from having a knife sticking out of me than an axe, and for some reason I don't know why. And then, okay, Spicy, I guess I hope it's not too horrible for you to clean your room. Thank you for the lurk, and I appreciate you. And also, while I can, I'm gonna do this because I can, and Spicy can't stop me. Gonna give a shout out to our Spicy. You're welcome, Spicy. Love you too, Spicy. But yeah, so yeah, brain. Okay. Yeah, and a guy chasing with an axe is generally more terrifying to most people, so works. All right, and I do have the 2 iridescent add-ons for my killer, which are as follows. We have Ballistic Knife. The gut hook knife has a maximum throw range of 5 meters, but will down a survivor in 1 hit. So, kind of similar to the Huntress's 1 iridescent axe head where it'll down you, but it's reduced to only 1 axe. Whereas this one, the range, which is normally like, I think I set it to think it was unlimited actually. That or it had a fairly decent range, but I don't think it could be yeeted like as far as what the Huntress can eat her hatches at. Next up we have scoreboard winning. Now, so this add-on requires some context. This killer is, in my mind, kind of one of those killers that one of the only killers that would come in a chapter that also includes a second killer. Instead of like the chapters where we get two survivors, this one gets two killers. The two killers would actually be connected to each other and have a bit of a friendly competition between the two of them of who can kill more people. of which my which this add-on is the scoreboard showing that my killer is winning. Dreadful Laugh depletes a 20% faster rate. Survivors are exposed during Dreadful Laugh. So I would say pretty nasty. And that is it for that one. I'm going to show you guys some of the perk icons a little closer. Just because I do think they're a little neat. There we go. And now we come to the question again: which killer do we want? Another original, a licensed killer? What do you guys think? Oh yeah. So the site is DBD Perk Maker. Let me double check that to make sure that I'm not saying it wrong. Yeah, Dead by Daylight Perk Maker is the name of the site. And it actually allows you to do quite a few things, actually. It lets you make your own perk icons. You can make you can do perks, make powers. You can also make. It also has an option to do the lore of the character you're making. Yeah, it's a really nice site, and it stays fairly updated fairly well. Uh, it'll probably have the because a lot of the what you have access to is you have the ability to kind of draw your own stuff. You can also modify already set icons. So, like for instance, this one here is a combination of uh, three different icons from the game, whether it's perk, power, item, killer add-on item icon, and you can probably tell that this is somewhat has a combination of the agitation add-on or perk with like probably I think an icon from one of the other hex perks and then a hook. What's another good example? Oh yeah. Or, you know what? Actually, let's go back to Happy Cackle's icon. So Happy Cackle is actually like a combination of I think I don't remember which add-on. It might also just be the general hex add-on icon. But I also drew the ha ha ha's onto it. But yeah, it's a really neat site. I really like it. All right. Anyways, what do we think, guys? A licensed killer, another one of my original killers. What do you think? What do you think? Okay, licensed killer. Alrighty then. I'm gonna do. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this one. All right. This one I don't have the power done up. I was going to, but unfortunately, that information got lost when I had to do some when I had to fuck with my computer to get it upgraded. I do remember what the power is, so I'll actually go over that with. I'll just go over that with you guys. Um, Basically, the power is the power. You know what? Actually, no. We'll do the perks. We'll do the perks first. So this killer is the fisherman from I Know What You Did Last Summer. For anyone who's seen that movie, it has what the fuck is her name? I can't remember the name of the lead actress, but it has Sarah Michelle Gellar in it, as well as Freddie Prinze Jr. in it. But was it Alyssa Milano? I can't fucking remember. Anyways, so the first perk for the fisherman is hook and line. This perk activates when you are chasing a survivor that is injured. While this perk is active, if a healthy survivor takes a protection hit, they are downed and the survivor that was being chased becomes hindered for 7, 14, and 21 seconds. So, just a little thing, a lot of these perks for this killer based off the movie, off of specific points in the movie. For instance, this perk is based off a point where one of the main cast is running from him, and someone tries to get, and actually like two people try and get in his way to save her, and they both just get got, just completely fucking murdered. Actually, one second. Let me see if I can't pull up a picture of him so you guys have a little better reference for him. Um, I want a better image. No, it doesn't work. Damn it, that's not what I wanted. Fuck off, thing. Damn it, I can't find a good image. And it's bothering me. There we go. Okay, that'll work. That'll have to work. Do that. You're not showing. Fine. What we'll do is we'll get rid of that. We'll do this. Okay. So this guy, not that you see much on it, is the fisherman. His hook is an ice hook. Just gonna grab things, that kind of stuff. We can make that go away now. Okay, actually, just completely go away. I'll make a new one if I really need to. Okay, so, oh god. Yeah, that's fair to say. Oh god, the world is moving. There we go. Alright, next up for his perks, we have I Know. Reveal the aura of the last survivor to touch a generator after kicking it for 4, 6, 8 seconds. Basically, just a kind of good not information perk. Can know, kind of give you an idea of a specific survivor kind of thing. And then the one that I am probably the most proud of for this character, for this killer, is Hex Max's body. So for reference, there is a scene in the movie where I'm pretty sure it's Alyssa Milano who plays the lead girl, lead lady. Um, but she opens up her trunk and finds a body in it of someone they know, and when she goes to get her friends to take a look at it and they open it back up, the body is just gone. Not even a sign of the crabs that were with it. All right. So at the start of the trial, a random dull totem is ignites. I can't fucking English apparently sometimes. Ignites and becomes a hex totem. Well, this hex is active. Survivors that come within 3 meters of a lit totem will scream. I can't English at all or grammar. Fuck. Will scream and the totem becomes blocked for 5, 7, 9 seconds. If a survivor affected by this hex goes beyond 4 meters of the lit totem, the hex transfers with any tokens it may have to another dull totem, and the lit totem becomes dull. So basically, kind of a thing of like if you walk away after it becomes blocked, just thinking, you know what, fuck it, fine, I won't grab this. I guess I probably should have put under that it can have. No, I worded that correctly. Yeah, basically it's like another version of Undying in a way. Just the only difference is that it's a little bit, it will switch it out if they don't stick around to try and cleanse it. But yeah, so as for the fisherman's power, what the power basically is it's called false suspicion, and what it does is You can hold the killer power button to go into a stalker mode, into a stalking mode, and stalk survivors. It doesn't turn you in, gain you undetectable or anything like that. It does reduce your terror radius. Um, by like I think I had like 4 meters, 2 meters. I'll have to actually write it back down and actually get it through the perk maker. But while stalking survivors, once you've stalked enough, I think it was like 3 stacks, you can then place your terror radius and red stain onto a survivor, and then gain the undetectable status. So, which is roughly based off of what he does in the movie, where he makes it seem like, no, this guy's the one who's doing this, because it's all based off of who knows what 4 teens did the previous summer, which was basically, run over a guy and then dump him into the water instead of, doing the right thing and going to the police, getting him to a hospital or something like that in case he was still alive. Granted, they were also drunk and under the concept of, oh, if we do this, then we can kiss our futures goodbye. But yeah. And what he does is he basically uses the fact that they're all paranoid and kind of not really trusting of each other anymore to not be the one kind of bringing up this old past, this old sin they all committed together, basically. Of which one of the other big things about it is, at least the add-ons I have, that I did again. I also had kind of set, but that information unfortunately got lost. Were, you know, again based off of aspects from the movie. But yeah, so there's the fisherman, and Tris had said license and then another original. So let's see. What original do I want to do? Um. You know what? Let's do the partner to the psychopath. All right. So this next killer, their name is the Rabbit. This is a killer who not only is the killer the partner killer to my self-inspired killer, but this is also a killer inspired by a friend of mine, Bunny Bree. Which, by the way, while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and put that up. Let's give Bunny a shout out. She doesn't stream regularly, but she is a streamer herself. One of the first streamers I actually met playing Dead by Daylight, and a friend of mine. All right. So, I need to make sure that I didn't completely fucked up how her thing is done. So I can properly shout her out. All funny. Okay. Yeah, I did it right. Cool. Sweet. Alrighty, so her power is Slasher Time. Hold the activate ability button to charge and use one reckless slash charge. Up to 2 charges can be gained at a time. Once charged, release to attack, pressing it a second time will use a second charge. Missing the second charge will cause stumble. Takes 20 seconds to recover from. Press the secondary ability button to crouch and become temporarily undetectable. 30 seconds. Pressing the attack button will cause an ankle biter attack to be performed, causing the survivor that is hit with this attack to become hindered for 30 seconds and end the crouch. Kind of an all over the place killer power, but she's kind of all over the place. But yeah, this one also was a victim of some lost information, unfortunately. I had all of her add-ons. Again, I'll have to go through that again. But time for the rabbit perks. All right, first off, we have Splinter. Mark a pallet. Only one pallet can be marked at a time. The next time a survivor would pull that pallet, they become injured. Splintered has a 120, 90, and 60-second cooldown. The hilarious thing when I actually showed her these perks for her killer is she's like, "This is horrible for a looper." Yeah, I know. You're a survivor main. So get got by your so congratulations, you played yourself. Alright, next up we have Hopeful Bait. Kicking a generator does not start to regress until a survivor fails a difficult skill check. On a failure, the gen regresses an additional 25, 30, 35%. Again, a pretty nasty aspect. I will say so myself. And then our last perk for the rabbit is Costly Escape. When a survivor vaults a window 3, 2, once, or one times, they are put into the injured state. A lot of just like, oh, you're gonna try and escape? Nah, fuck you. Just fuck you all together. It is at this point that, what are you guys' thoughts so far on some of these concepts? Just out of curiosity. Do you think any of them, okay, fucked up one thing. Then I'm gonna need to. This is what I wanted for. Never mind. I'm being dumb. Anyways, sorry. I thought I fucked something up. But anyways. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of them. Oh. Is it on your end or my end, Tris? Hmm. I was so paranoid when thinking people can't really hear me. I was worried that something got fucked up and so now people can't hear what I'm trying to say. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, that, I mean, that was the goal. to make them balanced. Um, of which, yeah, I'm sure there are probably some that some people would consider to be overpowered or underpowered. Ad break in 4 minutes, by the way. Um, because there's just going to be those people who think that like, oh, this is overpowered because it just does this, even if it's kind of situational. I thinking about it though, I think I might at some point redo Caustic Escape and up it a bit, just because looking at it now feels a bit unbalanced to me personally. But that's a future solve a problem. But yeah, I. The thing is, I don't. I'm not doing these or balancing them in a certain way to feed or appease certain sides, kind of like behavior does, with whenever they nerf or buff things. So it's just kind of a thing of like, I want this to be balanced. Like, I know that not everyone's going to be happy with how I done it, how I did it, but I'm not really. For one, this is for fun. Two, I'm doing it the way that I would like to see it, which is at legitimately balanced, not just like, oh, this is just super overpowered and, perfect for dealing with, for catching those survivors every single time kind of thing. All right. Let's see. What is next? Let's do another original, and then after this original, I'm going to do another licensed. Oh, God. Ah. There you are. All right. This next killer is also based off of another friend of mine. And it is called the Progenitor. Essentially, kind of the background for this killer is that they were a scientist working on a space station when a viral outbreak kind of thing happened and actually caused him to be, and he was basically patient zero. And it, I guess, viral slash parasitic kind of thing. I don't know. But yeah, his power is called Tendril Trap. The progenitor can set special traps that help carry the infection. Press the power button when near a usable surface. Uh, hey Dash, how you doing? I'm doing all right. I hope you're doing well. Let's just do a quick little thing here. Give a shout out to Dash. Also, Chaos. I should have asked. I don't remember if you stream or not. Uh, Let me know if you're still here so I can make sure to give you a shout out as well. Of course, Dash. Glad to have you here. I'm just talking about some original and a couple of licensed killer concepts for Dead by Daylight. Actually, we're going through. Actually, just started with one of my other friends who I've played Dead by Daylight with pretty heavily, who... Oh, well, I appreciate it, Dash. Hope you have a great day. Where was I appreciate the lurk, Dash. Alright. Okay, yeah, right. Potential traps are triggered when a survivor comes within 2 meters of it, causing a spike tipped tendril to shoot out at the survivor. If they are hit, the survivor becomes injured and covered in an infectious liquid that will not only slowly infect them and leave a trail for the progenitor to follow. Fully infected survivors become oblivious. The progenitor has 8 traps that they can lay out at a time and can only change their position by recollecting the trap. Survivors can use an anti-infection spray to remove a tendril trap or infection found in sealed cases throughout the trial map. So, kind of similar to, say, like Nemesis or Wesker, just mixed with Trapper. Alright, time for the perks. We have Hex Containment Event. At the beginning of the trial, a random dull totem becomes a hex totem. While the corresponding hex is lit, if a survivor hides in a locker, they become trapped inside of it for 20, 30, 40 seconds. This is in direct reference to the friend in question, who is a fucking locker gremlin of the highest order. Next up, we have Hex Hardened Ichor. Survivors suffer the hindered status after vaulting a window for 10, 15, and 20 seconds. Again, if you guys can tell, these are all based on the tiers of the perks. And for our last one, we have Genetic Burn. Survivors heal 15% faster, but run 20, 25, 30% slower. Fun little thing here. But yeah, I actually have a good chunk of my original killers are based off friends of mine. There's one killer that I do need to redo one of their perks because actually kind of I didn't steal it for another killer. I reclaimed it because it was originally meant for the killer I kind of got back into crafting, or at least their concept. Speaking of which, time for our next licensed killer. So our next licensed killer is the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers, of which they is entirely based off of the first and second movie. The third movie I couldn't even finish because it was so bad, and I haven't bothered watching the fourth movie remake. I'm not sure what it is. If it's supposed to be a remake or just a fourth sequel. All right, but the Creeper's power, Taste of Fear. I'm just gonna make this a little bit bigger. No. Move myself over a little bit. All right. The Creeper can track survivors through their fear. Press and hold the killer power button to see the scent trails of survivors. These trails are dull and thinner the further away from a survivor is from the Creeper. That was bad grammar, bad English. I'm a goblin. And become denser and brighter the closer they become. Additionally, as the trial goes, the creeper's flight meter will slowly fill. Once filled, press the secondary ability button to activate flight, which begins to drain. I needed to redo all of these fucking things so they are more concise and fucking sound good when they roll off the tongue. Basically, flight would be a special ability. Just to throw that out there. Alright. While in flight, the creeper's base and carrying speed increases by 15%. Flight ends early if the secondary ability button is pressed a second time or the creeper is stunned. Let's go ahead and grab a shot of the Jeepers Creepers guy. Just so you guys have a better visual of what this fucker looks like. Yeah, this is the creeper. For anyone who may not have watched the Jeepers Creepers movie. Or Jeepers Creepers movie. I can English, I swear. But yeah. This gorgeous motherfucker. Turn that off now. Okay. Next up, we go to his perks. Once again, this is a victim of some information being lost, unfortunately. I did have all of his add-ons. They weren't fully created in the perk maker, but they were written out so I could, vomit them back to you. All right. First perk for the creeper is You Said It Wanted Me. Again, a lot of these are referenced to parts in the movies, or at least the first two. This perk activates while chasing a survivor. That is not the obsession. When a generator is completed while this perk is active, the survivor being chased becomes the obsession and is exposed for 13, 18, 23 seconds. Fun little for anyone who's watched the movie, you'll know kind of what that's in reference to. Next up, we have Something It Likes. The obsession's aura is revealed while within 4, 6, 8 meters of the killer. So, yeah, I just find you. And finally, we have Last Day. When the exit gates are powered, gain 10%, 10, 15, 20% movement speed. So a little bit of background for anyone who doesn't know the movies. The Creeper comes out every 23rd year of every 23rd spring for 23 days. Once those 23 days are up, it goes into a hibernation. During those 23 days, he is able to hunt and feed, of which what he feeds off is us, human beings, or at least you guys, you human beings. I'm a goblin. So I'm clearly immune, right? Right. Anyways, uh, and the thing is, he only really goes after people they smell something he likes on them. So that kind of fun thing. And yeah, fun stuff on that. All right. Next up. Also, I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope I'm not just blabbing at you for no reason. All right. Those are all in process. Aren't really ready for this kind of thing. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Um, okay. All right. Let's talk about another original killer of mine who's also based off a friend of mine. This killer is known as the Witch. I'm gonna start with perks first. And no one saw that parody kill that parody survivor. No one. I might show you the parody survivor. Anyways, I also have to show you the parody killer, son of a bitch. First perk for the witch, which the witch is a cannibalistic woman who makes deals with individuals, and if you break the deal with her, she will eat you. And then use your bones to and add shards of your bones to her weapon, which is essentially a morning star made out of bones. Guitar. Yeah. Don't break a deal with her. But anyways, first perk is called Bound Heart. When a survivor becomes injured, this perk activates for 60 seconds. If fuck me. Sideways. If a survivor stops healing another or themselves before they are fully healed, while this perk is active, they become broken for 18, 20, 24 seconds. Afterwards, this deactivates and goes on a 90-second cooldown. Next, we have Hex Briarthorns. When a survivor vaults a window or a pallet while in the killer's terror radius, a random dull totem becomes a hex totem. While the corresponding hex remains lit, survivors that vault in chase become hindered for 4, 6, 8 seconds. So, very similar to the Hardened Ichor, but something you can actually get rid of. One second, I need to look at my shit again. Okay, it's very similar actually. Also, sorry, you need to sneeze and I didn't want to sneeze into your ears. I guess there's also the fact that this is more geared towards when you're chasing a survivor, so fun stuff that way. Also, to be fair, the progenitors were like one of the first killers I made. This was like one more recent. I get not really commissions, but you know, making for a friend things. Right, and last perk for the witch, we have Sights Seen. When the killer injures a survivor, the generator with the most progress is revealed for 3, 5, 7 seconds. And that generator becomes blocked for 5, 7, 9 seconds. Alright. I think that's actually. Let's see. Do I have. Let's do this real fast so I can make sure that I. Don't show it before I'm ready. Damn it, I'm gonna have to do it. Okay, yeah, I needed to change one of these perks. This next killer is called the Hybrid. And they're a hybrid of a man. They were basically a military experiment to create a hybrid soldier with a big cat, specifically a cheetah in this case. This is also this is basically a killer for a friend. All right, Hunter's Instinct. Press the killer power button to go into a low crawl while gaining the undetectable status. Crawling, the hybrid can stalk a survivor and fill a meter next to their portrait. Once the meter is filled, the hybrid can perform a pounce by pressing the attack button. On a hit, the survivor is downed and picked up instantly. However, a survivor picked up in this way gains 10% wiggle progress, and the hunter's instinct goes on cooldown for 45 seconds. If a survivor breaks line of sight, any progress made on them is lost. Stock progress is also lost when the hybrid exits their power, but will gain a 40-second haste. 40 seconds of haste. This is not what Embittered Hunt is now. This is the previous version of it. The current version of what Embittered Hunt is going to be is whenever you are stunned, you gain a token. And for every token on Embittered Hunt to a maximum, I think I was going to go with 5, you gain a stackable haste effect. Can't show you the icon for there because it's actually a really cool icon. But you know what I haven't told any of you guys is the Moris for some of the original killers. I'll do that after this one. Next perk for the hybrid, Keen Sight. Survivors continue to leave scratch marks when they crouch. These scratch marks are 75, 50, 25% fainter than scratch marks left by survivors running. So basically, yeah, you can crouch. I'm still going to see scratch marks. They're fainter. Going to have really good eyesight, but they're there. Last perk for this guy is Tracker. Killer Instinct goes off for 3, 5, 7 seconds when an injured survivor leaves your terror radius. Okay. Don't think I actually had a Mori for this one. If I did, I don't remember it. We're going to back out of there. I guess in all reality, the only one that I really have a Mori for is the Fractured, the Survivor Turn Killer concept, as well as the Rabbit. So I'm actually going to send us back to the rabbit. Or not that. You know what? This is what I'm gonna just, yeah. So the Mori for the fractured, the survivor to killer concept, is actually we can thank Soul for this. She's the one who came up with the killer for the Mori. And what it is the way that works is that you go up to the down survivor who's ready to be killed, hit the button, and they'll stand up and kind of find themselves in a position where there's a rock and what I would like to see in my mind versus what would possibly happen in reality would be based on the map, would be essentially what the kind of layout for a standalone palette would look like. So in the case of a more wooded area, it's like a rock, a big rock with a space, palette, and then whatever the palette is actually leaning against there. At which point the fractured, whose weapon is a piece of a broken palette, comes up, hits the survivor across the face so that they kind of have a half spin and fall onto the landing spot for the pallet. At which point, there's no pallet there, by the way, not yet at least. At which point the fracture drops the piece of wood and pallet they have. It then forms into a fully formed pallet that they then grab and just start slamming it onto the survivor. So with one mighty slam, not only does their skull break open, you know, in a more gruesome version of the game, because it's not gruesome enough, but the pallet breaks and then they pick up a piece to replace their previous weapon. I guess I also have Mori for my psychopath. Anyways, with the rabbit, what it is, because their weapon is a carabit knife, which, one moment, let me find an image of that. I want this. Alright. So yeah. She basically uses this weapon. And the way that her Mori goes... Oh, Tris, thank you for redeeming drink time. I actually need a drink. I am not thanking you for that sentence, Tris. I am not thanking you for that at all. But yeah, she uses that weapon. And the way that the thing goes is that she does one slice with it in its proper handheld, which is in the I think it's called the ice pick position. Yeah, I think it's the ice pick position. Basically, where the blade is pointed downward. The only exception for here is that because it's an inner edged blade, it has the point tipping towards them. She slashes across their throat once that way, flips it, and then just goes fucking nuts. Doing slash after slash after slash after slash after slash after slash after slash. until basically the survivor has fallen down at this point, and they were just like slashing air because they're kind of in a craze. Yeah. As for my Mori, the psychopath's Mori, it's a thing of I walk up behind the survivor, tap them on one shoulder, kind of like that. Oh, I'm gonna tap you on this shoulder. They turn around that way. I then bury my hatchet into that spot in between your into the collarbone kind of area, and bury it in there. Yank it back to where they spin back towards me. I then take the gut hook, hook them just in the stomach area, and bring it all the way up. I then tap them gently on the shoulder so they fall down and turn around and move off to murder other people. In game. In the game. In the game. All in the game. In Minecraft. Clearly. Alright. Which one? I think that's actually kind of all of the fully fleshed out, or at least for the most part, fully fleshed out killers I do have one more, like, somewhat finished concept that I wouldn't mind showing you guys. Okay, you need to go below that. You just go over there. Ah, son of a bitch. 1 second, guys. We're gonna get really close to each other while I die. I'm so sorry, guys. I did not mean to cough in your ears. Okay, alright. So, the concept we are dealing with now is in reference to my last Friday stream when I was doing the Friday the 13th movie tier list. These are the perks that I imagine for a Jason Voorhees killer, of which I would call him the slasher, in all honesty, as far as the Dead by Daylight title kind of thing. And they are as follows. We have, first off, we have Enrage. Each time you are stunned by a pallet, this perk gains a token to a maximum of 4, 6, 8. Each token grants a stackable 10% increase to pallet and wall breaking speed. This perk loses a token when a survivor dies. Next up, we have Unstoppable. This perk starts with 2, 3, 4. It's okay, Tris. Take care of what you need to take care of. I'm just glad you were here. I appreciate you. Right. Starts with 2, 3, 4 tokens at the beginning of the trial. Did I really put trail? Fuck me. Whenever you would lose Bloodlust from being stunned, this perk loses a token instead. This perk has no tokens when the exit gates are powered. It gains 1 token. And finally, for our slasher, aka Jason Voorhees, we have Death Curse. This perk activates when the exit gates are opened. While active, survivors that are on Death Hook are blocked from leaving for 25, 30, 35 seconds. Like, you are near death's door. You are not leaving until you die, or you are extremely fucking lucky. But yeah, there we have it. I think that is actually going to be it as far as this section of the game of the time, because I don't think I have any other killers to talk about currently that aren't in process, except for the parody one along with the survivor. But I don't. But that's kind of might. I don't know. Hopefully I won't actually get in trouble for that slip up. Hopefully I won't, because it's kind of a risky one. It's kind of lewd, I guess you could say. Yeah, we're not going to talk about it. Alrighty, my friends. That brings us to the point of, for one, we have about 2 hours left before I was planning on ending the stream. So, what do we want to do? What should we do? I do think I'm going to actually put up a poll for that. The killer. So let's see. Do also the possibility of me. I'm gonna throw this option in here as well. I am low-key addicted to this game right now. I think that's it as far as what I'm looking at. Start poll. Okay, so I just dropped a poll for what we will do now. Which we have DBD with where play killer, or I'll play some killer, possibly play with some friends if there's any available. Maybe some Marvel Rivals is an option, provided I can get it to actually show up on stream. Which, if what I was told yesterday does indeed work, it might fix the issue. Hopefully, Rivals will fix the issue at some point with it not really working with OBS too well. There's also the option of House Flipper on there, because I am legitimately low-key addicted to that game. There's also the option of, like, possibly just ending stream early. But no, that's not on the poll, but, you know, you can just put that down if you feel like that might be a possibility if you feel the need. But yeah, while we're actually on that, I'm going to hit a quick BRB so I can, you know, get up, stretch my legs, all that kind of stuff. Same thing for anybody who hasn't already voted in the poll. Be right back, guys. Alright, I'm back, my friends. Let's take a look at what the poll is looking like. Really? Alright. Fine. I'll choose myself. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can't get Marvel Rivals working. So we're going to switch to the game tunnel. Which means the music is going to need to go away entirely. Going to try and do... And we'll just exit out of that. Turn that off. It can go away. And if we can't get Marvel Rivals, oh my fucking god, to work properly in a different kind of window setup or anything like that, then we'll switch over to House Flipper. Just because I know that I want to try and see if the VTuber will still work with Marvel Rivals. If not, then I'll switch to Fugi if really need be. But I know I will have to with Dead by Daylight if I do that. But I do personally kind of want to do either Rivals or Flipper. Okay, so that's not gonna work. That's not working, so that. I'm gonna have to do display, really. Oh god. Okay, looks like I'm gonna have to display. That's kind of obnoxious. That's kind of actually really obnoxious, but alright, fine. That's the way it has to go. That's the way it has to go. Just slightly annoying. Yeah. Press X to start. No, I'm pressing A. Fuck you. What's this? Oh?
Alright, time to find out who's our ultimate party shark.
Yeah, God. I'm just gonna get out of that. Fuck. Mr. Pickle. I'll come back down there.
Great job! You're way more fantastic than they are. Halfway through this little beat.
Damn it!
Looks like we're falling behind a bit, but don't worry. Just keep swimming. 30 seconds. Go! Looks like we're falling behind a bit, but don't worry. Just keep swimming. Looks like we're falling behind a bit, but don't worry. Just keep. Well, you
Damn.
can't expect to win them all.
Okay. That was fun, but I'm gonna move on. Alright, let's change. You do. Use 2 sprays. God, I'm never gonna do some of these unless I'm with friends or something like that. I just want quick touch.
Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
Okay, Loki.
I am Loki, god of mischief and the king of Asgard. Why would anyone want
30 seconds
order
before you
when
attack.
they could
Get ready.
enjoy chaos? When doom has been brought to heel, I will choose Asgard's future.
If we save all timelines, perhaps I can finally return to my own.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Hell is my realm.
A little laggy, but not too bad with the avatar.
You are restored. Much better. I have many faces. Get in there.
You are a mighty ally, Wonder Master.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
I have many faces.
The mission area is yours.
I knew we could do it. I outnumber you. You are restored.
Ah, that's better.
Let my enemies tremble. Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me. That's what I have many faces.
Oh god, there's a captain here.
You're quite welcome. I have many faces.
You can stand down.
You are restored. The more the merrier.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
I am barely harmed.
Let my enemies tremble. You're quite welcome.
Watch me soar!
Healing for my friends. Much better.
Victory's almost yours.
Thank me later. You have my full support. Render me assistance.
Take a look behind you. Feeling stronger already.
Cool, cool.
I am accused of loving chaos. It is true.
Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Few mortals are so adept at wielding chaos magic. You have caught my attention, witch.
Should I take that as a compliment or a warning?
I wish you no ill, but all souls eventually belong to Hela. I will be counting the days.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, the mission area. Got it?
Billions of people are counting on us to put the timelines back where they belong.
I will unleash mighty havoc. Time to vanish.
I see them!
I outnumber you. Render me assistance.
Hurricane!
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
I have many faces. Healing for my friends.
3,
The mission area is yours.
wind and thunder watches over this land.
I outnumber you.
Healing. Why would I need healing?
Take the fucking healing, Hela. Might have to turn off the VTuber just because it is. I do notice a
Let
slight
my enemies tremble.
bit of a visible lag to it.
Healing for my friends. Assemble! I have many faces. Stand down!
Perhaps I should be grateful.
The more the merrier. You have my
Captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
render me assistance.
That's better.
Let my enemies tremble.
You're mine.
You are restored.
I will always hold back.
Feeling better now. Thanks. I outnumber
You'll
you.
want to protect your rear.
That's better. The area's almost yours.
Sayonara. Here they come now.
The more the merrier. Invigorating, no?
Another soul to join my legions.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
I am so sorry to cough in your ears, guys.
Your powers are mine!
Damn.
Back so soon? Praise Hela.
Oh god, damn. You know what? I'll take it. Fuck yeah.
Another epic victory. Big win.
That. Hold on. That real fast. You guys let me see any of that. do think I am going to switch to my Fugi just for the sake of ease, because it does seem to be... Granted, I was streaming. I wasn't streaming when I was playing this last night, so... One moment, my friends. I need to check a thing. Okay, cool. Again, I apologize for covering your ears. I don't know why. Let me go to this. That on. That off. Just for the sake of giving a little bit more power to computer. I do wish I could change that. Okay. What I should do, I should make this seeable again. There we go. Hopefully that will make it a little bit better. Not quite so laggy. Probably turn him back. I do think I'm only going to do a few more rounds of this. And then switch to some House Flipper maybe. You guys will have to let me know what you think about that. If you care at all.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Do have an idea of who we're gonna raid.
Even a spider totem like me can use a few extra hands now and then.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Without chaos, life becomes a predictable, orderly prison.
The battle starts in 5.
Till I get more. I need to figure out how I undo that. It's probably something I have to do on the keyboard or something like that.
Sorcery and deception always defeat the clenched fist.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, there is people around here.
Or a dagger.
Oh, I'm fine, don't mind me.
Ow, fuck.
I outnumber you.
Son of a bitch.
So cold.
Render me assistance. Sniper's gone dark.
I might have to switch to a different person. I'm gonna maybe try mouse and keyboard. And then my go-to.
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
Your powers are mine! I'm everywhere.
Oh god. Fuck. Damn it. Okay. Yeah. No. 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 I am not a mouse and keyboard player unless it's specific games.
Get that vehicle moving again.
Dare to lay hands on me?
We already have
Stand down!
use. Looks like we could use another Vanguard though.
Our past was mired in loss and grief, but the future belongs to mutant kind.
The Dark Force feeds.
You are under my protection. Maximum pulse!
Get in there, y'all. They're coming up ahead.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
You shall not be harmed.
Extra protection.
I feel like judge.
No.
Spider Zero's got places to go. Come on.
A foam of life.
Red dot, red dot.
Insignificant gnats.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about that rift soon. Hopefully, while we still exist.
You shall not be harmed.
Shields are more Steve's thing.
Please,
Your attacks are
you're halfway there. Keep going.
much better.
Punishers in turret mode. Score one pass. Spider Zero's got places to go. Come on. Let's pop back up under their noses. Co-op time.
You shall not be harmed.
Armed and dangerous.
Fear Magneto!
Partner.
Get that vehicle moving again.
That should be sufficient. Here they are now. Your attacks are futile. Venture.
Hold still. I'm trying to help.
You cannot hurt me.
Your powers are mine.
Judge, jury, executioner! How irritating.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man. Again. Let myself get in. Let's pop back up under their noses.
You are under my protection.
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
Here they are. Much better.
Here, sniper.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Damn.
I shall not be removed so easily. I feel like myself again. Insignificant gnats.
Damn it. Damn you, Wolverine.
My power cannot be quelled.
Time to roll out, Zero.
You shall not be harmed.
Alright, Ty. Now we really have to
You
attack.
cannot hurt me.
My arrow. Sniper, watch your heads. The sniper.
I feel like myself again.
So cold.
Castle. Your powers are mine!
They got behind you.
Damn it.
My power cannot be quelled.
Run into these snipers.
Fear Magneto!
Here's how you shoot!
Venture forth. Insignificant gnats.
That's it. Don't let anything stand in your way.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Futile.
Only 60 seconds left.
From a distance, coward. That should be sufficient.
Hold still. I'm trying to help. I'm getting stuck.
You are under my protection. Your attacks are futile.
Down to 30 seconds.
You cannot hurt me.
The final 10 seconds.
I shall
that
not be
vehicle
removed
moving
so
again.
easily.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. Please, we're hurt.
Damn it. I was so close.
We can't expect to win them all.
Okay. I do think that's going to be it for Marvel Rivals. I know it was only a couple games, guys, but it is being really laggy for me. Probably because I'm streaming at the same time. As much fun as it is, the lag is kind of killing me. That and also having to have this on the display is just a tad bit annoying. Alright, so we're gonna actually bring back up model. this back up. That. Adjusting my title. I need the controller for that. Since this is the first time we've played House Flipper on the channel, I mean we're going to be starting up a whole new game. Probably a whole new profile for it as well. Yep. Stream. Game. Yeah. This stuff. Keep the chainsaw. Hello, I'd like to hire your company to put my house in order. I know from photos posted on Face Scam? Okay. That my ex-boyfriend broke into my house, made a huge mess, and stole the radio. Is it possible that it is possible that some other things are missing too? Please clean up in the house. Place the missing appliances. I would ask you to not inform the police about this whole matter. I will settle it myself with my ex-boyfriend to returning from a business trip. Regards, Sarah Lewis. Okay. Can I turn off the tutorials? I really don't need them. Oh. I guess we'll be a cyborg. Cyborg goblin. Can I try that with normal? I don't care about using the controller. So there's no way to get rid of the tutorial stuff. That's a shame. It's like a dude decided to throw a party here. Okay. I am a robot. I am Robo Saba. Hear me? All this in order. Oh, also, guys, just so you're aware, I mean, I know I say this every time I stream on Fridays, but there is, I guess as always by this point, the possibility of me streaming again later tonight. So just kind of stay tuned for that, I guess. If you are interested in watching another stream. We will likely do... I mean, it's possible I'll do more of this. I might do some more lethal. Might even... Okay, that's all in order. I will do the cleaning up. I'm just going to get some of this basic shit taken care of. That just takes us to the back. Okay, so... Because you totally use a broom to clean all this kind of stuff. Points. Actually, I want good mop. Feel free to let me know what you think, what you would want to possibly see me play if I do stream it later tonight. If you want more of this, or if you want something different. Hell, even if you want some more rivals. Probably have to try and figure out a way to make it so it's less laggy. If that's even possible at all. Bathroom's done. Oh, I don't think I like the robot, the cyborg arms. Yeah, we'll just go normal, I guess. Man, I wish I legitimately wish there was goblin arms in this. Okay, then I need to buy a radiator. yourself complete. Moving on. Is some of my head not showing up? Oh, fuck. There we go. My apologies for that, guys. That was kind of stupid of me. So I just want to check a few things real fast. Okay. Speaking of which, now that we have this, let's go ahead and clean up our own abode. Okay. Okay. Alright, so next job. Still some gardening. Why not? That's always fun. Yep, yep. Okay. Is the one tool? I know it's around here. And it might actually not be available to me yet. Did kind of end up getting that to that point at a later time point in one of my personal game playthroughs. Again, I guess I just need to do gravel and I'll cover up all the grass. Just need one of these kinds. Diggy 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 hole. Okay, that one's done. Well, let's go ahead and use it both singles, really? Okay. Diggy 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 hole. And watered right over here. And we need to do a shrub. Sure, we'll do this one. Diggity dig. Boom. We still have some weeds in here. Okay, there we go. Now it's been properly de-weeded. Oh, we can do this. Why? Because I want to. Okay. And we do one of these. small one. Okay. You in cover. Yeah, job complete. Go. One second, guys. I just had an idea. There we go. There I am. There's beautiful me. There's the goblin. Okay. No. Mediators, earth walls, baby on the way. Need to remove the bushes. Let's go clean the garage. I should also turn something on. There we go. Okay. Okay. Open. Garbage. None of these people have a hoarding problem. No, not whatsoever. Okay. Just got a new perk. Got a few perks. Okay. Let's go ahead and increase our clean speed. Increase our pay for the jobs. Increase our planting speed. Okay. This. Job is complete. However, I'm gonna do some organizing. Boy, does this guy need some organization here. I'm just gonna put you there for now. Don't worry, sir. You'll be perfectly capable of finding all your tools. They'll just be slightly more organized. And if you can't find them right where they're at, seems like a personal problem, sir. That. You know what? I'll go ahead and de-weed your garden, your yard, just because I'm so nice. I actually kind of like doing it. Also kind of want to screw around with you guys. I really need to consider if I want to get House Flipper 2, because I know that it's supposed to be a thing of like, for one, you can play with someone else. But just not entirely sure, to be honest. Yes, I'm exploring this person's house without that being the reason I'm here. You don't have it upstairs, do you? There you go. Never have it. Alright. I know that the stream is slated to end at 2:30, but I might end it soonish because I am starting to get hungry. Snacks can only satiate me for so much. Oh. Oh. I think I might finish this one job Yeah, I think it will either be more rivals, more house flipper, or possibly even some DBD if I either killer or maybe some friends if there's any who are interested later. But I do think I will be ending this shortly. I already know who I'm gonna raid. Okay, what skill did I get? Let's go with that. I need to paint this with amaranth and gray. Alright. So used to some of the upgrades I had. Changing shit like a fucking idiot. Yes, please. I would love to not waste paint on the same wall. Oh. Oh, that's out of paint. Okay. Well, now we do this way then, I guess. Ba, ba, ba. In the paint. Okay. And push. I know I don't have to do this part, but I'm going to do it anyways because I want to. Because I fucking can, that's why. That can. Okay. That. Where's that? Broken outlet. Why is there a light switch with plugs in the? I don't understand that. I don't know about you guys, but that seems dangerous to have your TV stand on casters. I don't seem to have a lock on them. There it is. Never said anything about being behind anything. Yeah, and guess what? You get a free remodeling of your kitchen, Sailor. There. Alright. Done. Yeah, I think I am going to call it here because I am getting hungry. I want something a little more than the snacks I have right now. I wasn't calling for you, Boo. I wasn't. So let's go ahead and exit the game. Save that there. Go back to the Warren. Alright, guys. Put myself back over to my proper place. Thank you for joining me. Whether you lurked, hung out in chat, chatted with me, I appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Like I said, it's always a possibility on Fridays for me to stream again. Just depends on how I feel and how the rest of the night goes. Let's go ahead and get our raid target set up. I wonder if maybe I should raid someone who's also played this. Who do I have to raid? I'm gonna raid. Let's go and raid J. Let's go raid J. We're gonna go raid J. Give him some Goblin love. Raid message is Goblin Raid, as always. Throw in those to battle goblins. Or no, he's playing Fortnite. Did I say murder rabbits? We're gonna raid Jay, who's playing Fortnite right now. Once again, thank you guys for being here. Reminder, next week I won't be streaming on Christmas Day, but I will be streaming the following Thursday and Friday. Not sure what that will be yet. But thank you guys so much. Take care of yourselves. Bye.